the moment that you've all been waiting for. From just north of the border, he's the hombre with no nombre. Mi hermano from another mamo. He's the Muay Thai Tiger, El Numero Uno.
That's right. You're listening to one of the three Hogsmen. Dev not here. Big Duke said he'll be here next week. But you're listening to the Hogsman Podcast. I am El Numero Uno, Mike Camden, joined by NPA. That stands for Not Producer Adam. What up, Adam?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Hanging out. We got somebody sitting in today. We're changing it up a little, but it's been a few weeks since we've had somebody sit in with us, Adam.
That's true.
So yeah, man. Big weekend for this guy coming up. He's gonna be probably stressing. Maybe pulling some hair out. He ain't got much up there. It's buzzed, but he might be pulling it out. I don't know. But we're joined by Norris, aka Bones.
Thank you for having me.
What up, Bones?
What up? Super pumped up for this weekend. Super excited. Thank you for having me.
We got a big weekend coming up, but
blast off.
Let's talk about this past weekend. I didn't do much, but I came to the conclusion, right? My wife's like, it was like Friday night. She's like, let's watch a movie. So we put on the Netflix. You know, we had a whole bunch of movies to pick from. Guess what I picked? Everybody, guess what I picked? All right, enough of the guesses. Picked Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, hell yeah. Man. It's on there.
I was just like, I want to watch Beverly Hills Cop. I want to watch an old comedy, you know, like that brings you back to my childhood, right?
Yep.
And that's what happens when I watch those movies. And then Saturday night, guess what I watched?
Part 2?
Negative. Major League.
Oh, okay.
A classic.
Great choice.
But that, you know, I'm just like, I watched two very old movies, probably 25-year-old movies, over like trying to find something new because, man, times were better back then.
Yeah.
Simpler times back then. But I loved it, man. Love those movies.
That's why you rewatch stuff. You know,
Exactly.
People rewatch The Office over and over again because it's their comfort level.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much on Netflix. I just watch whatever I always watch. Inception, Total Recall,
Great
Training
movies.
Day. I think those I watch those every night. It's one of those three pretty much.
Great movies. Bones, you had a busy weekend. You were out in Vegas. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. We're checking out the scene.
What were you doing out there, man?
We were over at Versus Pro Wrestling Studios. Shout out to Wes, everyone over there. We were doing the lights. You know, our light guy was out there doing lights. I was just checking in with everyone. They also had a show on Saturday as well too.
Saw that.
So saw some wrestling action out at the mall.
Cool, man. You've been spending a lot of time out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Been out there trying to just moving and shaking, dog. Looks like you're trying to move and shake.
Definitely trying some things. We had a good, first time around. It was tough, but we had a good reception. People want us back, and we're excited to get back there. And we constantly reach out to everyone that's out there in the area and try to make sure that we're doing it the right way. I know the last time we did a show, half the show were Vegas people, so we're doing it the right way. We're not making anybody really mad about going in there, but we're excited to go in there again.
That's cool, man. It's a good move to, kind of have multiple locations. Like, what I mean is like cities to run shows at, right? So San Diego, you got it locked down here. No problem. We got a school. We got everything that we need here. But it's also good to, hey man, if you want to run in Vegas, you got the hook up there, and support, I guess you could say, right? And that's what a lot of those Versus guys are helping you out with is, hey man, if you want to come around out here, we got your back. We'll help you out. Am I correct on that?
No, definitely. They've been very supportive of us being in Vegas. The Kush Talk show last year in September. People didn't know that the ring, there wasn't any wrestling allowed actually at Sahara Event Center. We had the event, and then they told us no rings allowed at the Sahara Event Center, but I didn't want to cancel the event. And Wes and his team was very supportive of making sure that we didn't cancel on the guys, that we delivered our end, and we definitely delivered a great show, I thought.
Excellent, man. I got a question for you because you got a lot of stuff going on, all right? So now is Full Spectrum, is that like the umbrella for everything? Like as far as Canna Pro, I'm going to botch this name again.
Dulce de Lucha. I've been trying to say it correctly too. Dulce de Lucha.
There you go. Now is Full Spectrum kind of the umbrella, or, how's this set up? Because, you've got your Full Spectrum, you've got Canna Pro, you've got Duluce. Say it for me.
Dulce de Lucha.
There you go. We got the Level Up Pro Wrestling School. So now is Full Spectrum kind of the umbrella?
Exactly, that's it on the head. Actually, Full Spectrum has a LLC behind it. We are a licensed company, trying to do things the right way. We definitely want to do it the right way on paper and out full transparency of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, because I've noticed that. I'm like, okay, Full Spectrum, and then I've noticed all the promotions, and I'm like, I just wanted to figure out
Right.
that kind of stuff.
And it was really cool over the weekend on the drive back from Vegas. We were listening to a comedian show, and he was talking about he was a Latino comedian, and he was always trying to shake that Latino stereotype or that label. And even with the Canna Pro was our first punch, and we were always labeled as a weed promotion, a gimmick promotion, and Full Spectrum is supposed to embody everything. We have a lot of plans on what we want to do. We want everybody on board and what we do. Full Spectrum is supposed to be everything underneath the rainbow. So not just weed, not just combat sports, but who knows what's next. We have ideas on what's next, but we don't want to spill the beans just yet.
Yeah. We've so Canna Pro, obviously Canna stands for cannabis. Am I correct on that?
Right.
And so there is kind of maybe a thought that, it's all about marijuana use and all that kind of stuff at these shows when it's really not. So you got some sponsorships, right, from marijuana dispensaries and other kind of marijuana brands, anything like around that. But you come to the show, it's a wrestling show. It's not like you're pitching weed down people's, throats. It's a wrestling show, but it's sponsored by, marijuana companies or any kind of, products that any marijuana company has. But feel free to come to the shows, even if you don't use cannabis, right? Because we're a wrestling show. That's it.
Exactly. There's a 100% right on the head. We're a wrestling show first. The weed, that's the sponsorship. I don't even know if people know, but on Instagram, social media, you're not allowed to promote cannabis through social media. So it's kind of weird. There's a lot of rules, but that alcohol is allowed to do one thing, but cannabis isn't. So cannabis actually gets, the term is called shadow ban, and your accounts get deleted when you promote cannabis. So through wrestling, we're actually trying to give a new platform to promote cannabis brands. That way you're not getting shadow banned, you're not getting deleted. You're kind of going underneath as a wrestling promotion. And, we got 1 million views on TikTok last year. We wish we could have shared that with the cannabis brand or any brand really, because Full Spectrum, again, we can do the Dulce de Lucha, which is a family-friendly promotion. And with family-friendly, you can involve alcohol. So again, the standards with cannabis is kind of, but at the same time, I'm just playing the game. And I'm excited to play the game.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't know that they kind of shadow ban any kind of marijuana promotion or anything like that.
Well, I found out that there's a lot of things that Instagram will delete for. I guess if you do more than 150 actions, you can get flagged.
What is that? So what's action?
Action means liking, commenting, DMing someone. So it's a cumulative. If you do 150 actions consistently, they will flag and delete your account. So even if you get like a big profile and you're liking everyone's comments, it may change once you're verified. But for an unverified account, you get 150 actions. You start messing with that. You start getting, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then they also don't want you to condone sales like off Instagram. I think they want Instagram to keep you on Instagram. So it's important to kind of tag other profiles and keep people in that link in those websites within that link of Instagram.
Oh, okay. So. Funny side story with Instagram that happened to me yesterday or 2 days ago. So this kid, he requested a DM or like a message through Instagram. And this is what he says. This is so funny. I looked at it. The kid's from somewhere in the Middle East, and he hits me up saying like, "Hello, sir. I'm one of your biggest fans in the world." And then I hadn't replied. I don't know what time this is, but he hits me up again and goes, "Sir, can you please give me a reply?" So I'm like, "All right, man. I'll look at this kid's profile. He just seems like a younger, like kind of teenage kid over in the Middle East somewhere." And I just wrote like, "Hello and thank you for the support." Right? That's my reply. So here's where it gets funny, right? I feel so used. So he writes back. He goes, I think, "Yeah, sir," and like there's a few hearts, which is weird. But then he hits me up again and he goes, "Sir, how do you know Dominic?" He's talking about Dominic Mysterio, right? And then he hits me up later because I didn't reply to it. And then he hits me up later and goes, "Sir, can you please tell Dominic, sir, to please reply me hi?" That's. And I just am like, I feel used.
Yeah,
like
he did all that to get the Dom.
He's using me to get the Dom. So I screenshotted this and sent it to Dom, and I wrote, "I feel used," and Dom laughed.
Dude, their profiles are ridiculous on Facebook. It's just please comment, please reply. I mean, I had to look at every Facebook, Instagram. I'm just a stalker on everyone's. Sorry, I got to be this. Just try to understand all the aspects of every business and every opportunity. And it's just there's so many people that are just looking for some kind of acknowledgement, and that's what's so great about wrestling. You know?
If this kid is coming through me to get a reply from Dominic, I can only imagine the message Dom gets. Right. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so how'd you get into this wrestling thing? I got a question. That's a good question. How the hell did you get into this wrestling thing? Because did you ever get in the ring and train?
Yes. My first stint was actually 2001 at CCW.
Okay.
And I trained there for about 2 months, and then the school went out of business.
Yeah.
I was training in the backyard there in Vista, and I was driving from Alpine to Vista every day for the 2 months there. And then it's kind of interesting because all full circle. The first show that I worked with them while I was doing security, Conan was the first fly-in.
Oh no shit!
And B-Boy was there too as well. So it was really interesting. That was like my first time in pro wrestling. But I got into it because I went to a WWF show. I went outside after the show, the flyer on the window saying, "Do you want to be a WWF wrestler?" And then my dad called. I was still 16 at the time. My dad called for me.
I like how it said that. Do you want to be a WWF wrestler? It's that simple. It's that simple, right?
Or maybe I said, "Do you dream to be a professional wrestler?" But my dad called for me and I said, "Hey, how did it go?" He said, "There's no job placement at that school. You're not doing it." So, but yeah, that was the start. But then 21, I started going to the school, CCW. Then I just went to, I don't want to say I got a real job, but everyone around me insisted that I do something to support the family. Cause I got married 2002. So I've been married 18 years, going on 19 here. Hopefully that's right. Hopefully I don't get yelled at later. But yeah, I got married at that time. And then, so I put that on hold. I actually went to do IT I went to Microskills, the trade school up in Miramar. So I went to computer certification school. I did that while I was working retail at Nautica. But yeah, I did all that after the pro wrestling stint. So I did a lot of jobs along the way.
So did you get any matches under your belt, or were you trained and then kind of fell out?
No, the 2 months there, and then once we got up to come up to like 2016 Battle U Level Up, I actually worked with Gus in the nightclub, and that's how that kind of came together. And I was like, oh, dude, you got to start a wrestling school. If you start a wrestling school, I'm there. So and then I was there. And that's when I started training again. Never got a match. I mean, I did a match once at the Jolton Joe's venue one time on a Rumble. That was about it though. Cool. I did a special guest referee. I knew I was a terrible referee, but
so what? I mean, it's fine too, man. Like a bunch of people start training and they fall out. It's no big deal. Yeah. The shit's tough. Yeah. The shit hurts.
Yeah, no, that's what actually stopped me the last time because I had I want to say it was a high ankle sprain. I was hurt.
Yeah.
And I always got hurt. I was always hitting my head. I don't know, putting too much. I was never one to protect myself, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a really high ankle sprain, and that's I couldn't run. I couldn't do much. But I never went to the doctor because I didn't have insurance at the time. So that's kind of what really got me into the production side of things.
It'll heal itself.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Okay, so now you're in the production side. You have your own promotions. How'd you get into that part of wrestling?
Well, I mean, with everything happening with COVID and wrestling, I mean, I guess all in all, the first promotion I started was the hybrid pro, the weed promotion where we went to Kush Talk and we did the festivals and things like that. I mean, it wasn't really mine, but I was a big part of it. Mm-hmm. And it was just about entertainment for the festivals, the entertainment aspect of it. I really didn't think about having everything else. I mean, the school was always something I wanted to do, but I thought the school would kind of handle itself. So I was like, all right, school's handling itself, promotion's handling itself. Let's go ahead and add another element to it. Let's do a cannabis promotion. That way we can do these cannabis events. Because we would go in there and there's a lot of people just kind of standing around, walking around. You see the same guy like 20 times getting free samples. Let them watch wrestling. Let's entertain this crowd and let's get a chance. And then when we started going to shows, we were getting cannabis sponsors throwing stuff in the ring. We had some cage matches at Kush Talk at the NOS Center. So that was the cannabis promotion. And I kept pushing it because there's just a marketing aspect of it where all these cannabis brands have a huge amount of budget for marketing. They're, and it's a new way to be seen.
Yeah.
And it stinks because I think when I first brought this to, everybody in the wrestling community, they're like, it's a gimmick. You're kind of doing a disservice to the game. You know what I mean? We're not a sideshow. We're the main show, but through this, I hope that, people see that we're slowly becoming the main show.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we're going to be in Mandalay Bay. Travis Barker's going to be there Friday night. I know we're going to kill it Saturday and Sunday night, and Travis Barker's going to pop for us, type of thing.
Well, okay. First of all, we're going to talk about this Mandalay Bay thing, but it's very interesting. These companies, these cannabis companies, they have sponsorship or they have marketing budgets, and yeah, if they can't go any other routes because of certain rules or whatever, that's great that you have an opportunity to present them like, hey, if you want to market your stuff, this is what I have. And a lot of them are like, hell yeah, man, we can budget that. Okay. So that's pretty cool, man. Because, hey, man, this is my idea, right? Marijuana is legal, right? It's legal. It's just as legal as alcohol in the state of California, at least, and however many other states. So I don't. Whereas back in the day, I think the stigma's still there with marijuana, but it's going to eventually phase out as we get,
You'd hope.
You'd hope. I think it is. It still blows my mind that we can go into a dispensary and buy weed, whereas you back in the day would have to like keep it on the low, a little hand-to-hand transfer. Yeah. I think I only bought like a dime bag once when I was a kid from my friend for a trip to Colorado to go snowboarding. But it's just very interesting nowadays how it's like, and you go into these dispensaries and they're legit professional businesses. They're clean. They have employees. Everything looks good. It blew my mind when I went into one years ago after it had just passed. I was like, I got to go into one of these places just to see it. It blew my mind. Right. It blew my mind, man. Considering you took it from like,
back alley drug deal.
Exactly. And you look at it, it's professionally done. It's a business now. So that's cool, man. So let's talk about the Mandalay Bay. You brought this up. You sent out a little tweet or a Facebook post, something like that, saying, that there might be a Mandalay Bay show in the future. Is that still in the works, or is it like, hey man, we're doing, what's up with that? If
you go to the budtenderawards.com, you'll see that Canna Pro is listed for 2 shows, Saturday and Sunday at Mandalay Bay. We're there.
Sick.
We're in there, and we're talking. I've been talking about it for a while, and to the people up close, but I didn't want to let the word get out because it would have been a huge disappointment if we didn't lock it in. Yeah, it's still a possibility that we'll end up at Versus. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Mandalay Bay really wants something there. The Bud Tenders really wants us there. I believe it was interesting. So we did that Glamis show, right? On March 20th, and we're out in the desert, middle of nowhere. And like, what are you gonna do this set up this show in the middle of nowhere? We're out there, and they're doing these helicopter rides out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden this girl walks up. She's like, "Norris." And I don't know who it is, but super cute, super hot, you know what I mean? And sorry, I hope that's all right, but whatever it is, but that's real shit. But either way, and I didn't know who it was. I'm like, just like, I don't know, And then I'm Amanda from the Bud Tender Awards. We were in the Zoom meeting. I was like, oh, so legit, someone from the Bud Tender Awards showed up at Glamis to get a helicopter ride from this bar, the Boardsmanville Trading Post, this random bar in the middle of nowhere, saw us wrestling, saw me walk away from the wrestling, and just like after we had a great show, when we had crowd there, everyone was into it, and she saw, this is amazing. I'm all, so you saw a match? And she's like, yeah. I'm all, we're gonna do this in Vegas. You know what I mean? So it was crazy that she was there, and they invited me to the camp and everything like that, but it was really crazy how it just all happened. It was like we were meant to be there. A lot of things happen along this way that it's just like I can't stop, little things like that. It's just like got to keep going. So I think once that happened, and then she's sending Snapchats and social media back to her group, like, look, I just saw Nords, look what they're doing over here. They're gonna do this at Mandalay Bay, so they're pumped up for it, and so I feel like we're locked in no matter what. You know what I mean? Like that. So it's us. It's ours to lose, and it's tough because there's so many people out there kind of like, wanting to get in where we got in, as soon as we hit them up, I'm pretty sure 10, 20 people hit up the Mandalay Bay. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And, there's so much information, so many gigs out there that I want to announce, but the coast isn't clear yet. So I still got to kind of keep things close and keep things tight. But yeah, Mandalay Bay.
Yeah. What's funny is, you and I both have nightclub backgrounds, and actually we know kind of a few people in that industry. And I know a bunch of general managers in the San Diego area and like by the beach and all that, where they have locations with venues the size that could fit a wrestling ring. And I'm always like, hey, we can put on, I can get you into, I always tell these general managers, like, hey, I can get you in touch with somebody that we can put on a show here. And it's always kind of a hard sell at first because they're not sure. They think like people are going to get hurt, obviously, right? They think people are going to get hurt, which there's always a chance. Also, they don't understand. They think wrestling's like, oh, it's for kids or something like that. But then when you do go to a venue like a bar or any place that, like
Fucking love it.
has alcohol getting served or anything like that, fucking peas and carrots, man.
Fucking love it.
Alcohol and wrestling go hand in hand. And yeah, hey, let's throw marijuana in there too now. So once they see, somebody like the young lady you were just talking about, when they see it in action and the response that it's getting from the crowd, it's an easy sell after that. The hard thing is just trying to get it in front of that person that you're trying to pitch it to, just trying to get it in front of their eyes, because it's hard to tell them without it around, like, hey, listen, we can run a wrestling show here, blah, blah, blah. You're trying to pitch it, but unless they're there looking at it and seeing what the crowd reaction to it, it's a hard sell. Right. It's a hard sell. So it's, you got to run wherever you can. I mean, you went out to Glamis at like some pizza joint, right?
Yeah. Well, it was a bar in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it was a bar. But the pizza company, Dang Brothers Pizza, thank you again. They make pizzas in fire trucks. They put ovens on fire trucks, and they drive these fire trucks to wherever they're doing events at.
That's fun.
So yeah. They provided a great show, and they were a huge part of why this all happened. Dang Brothers Pizza and Amanda, Butt Stuff, Super Awesome Showdown. Thank you very much for that show.
But the, you got to do what you got to do to get the word out, right? And that's not just the word, but you want to get the visual of, hey, this is what we offer. This professional wrestling, it's fun. Kids love it. Adults love it. It brings them back to their childhood. It's all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, just keep grinding on that stuff.
Thank you.
It's tough, but eventually it'll just start selling itself, and that's what you're looking for. But hey, man, you got a busy weekend coming up. I got a busy weekend coming up. Let's talk about it a little bit. That's right. So Friday night, I believe that's what is that, the 6th? I believe that's right.
The 2nd.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
April 2nd.
I'm way ahead.
Friday, 6 p.m.
That's
Love Showcase. Red tier. Sorry, sir.
It's all right.
I try to do every job in the game. If you don't know, I'm really excited to do any job that comes up. Only if it comes up, I'm not going to put myself in there.
We're going to have a Level Up show on Friday night, and this is gonna be good because it's gonna be in the back parking lot behind the Level Up Pro Wrestling School, and we got all the COVID protocols in place. Your wife Bones is certified COVID specialist, something like that.
Yeah, licensed infection nurse with a certification in COVID prevention.
And she knows her shit.
Yeah.
I've talked to her. She's smarting me up about this COVID stuff because you can't trust anything you hear in the media, unfortunately, because you got you got 8 different stories on one subject. So it's nice to have her as a resource. And she, she makes sure that we are compliant in the COVID area. So let's go over this card for Friday night. It's going to be, let's go. Sorry guys, I'm looking for it on my phone real quick. Let's see. You're going to have, this is going to be a funny one. Casey Douglas. He's going 1-on-1 against Shinobi. Anybody know about Shinobi?
Not very much.
Nope. He's very mysterious. We're going to figure out who he is on Friday night. Then we're also, so this is 2 students, and this is gonna be exciting to see what they can do. It's gonna be a 1-on-1 match against Cameron August, who I wrestled with against one of our one of our IWTV shows for Level Up. He's gonna take on Leo Canito. So they're gonna go. These are 2 students that have been training here. Cameron actually trained up at Land Storms Academy for a little while, and then I think he came here for school or something. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they can create as far as a match and see what they can do. So that'll be nice to see. What else we got? We got a 1-on-1 match. Jordan Cruz against J2 Juan Mattioli. That'll be another match.
Some meat slapping there.
There you go. And let's see. I will be taking on Sexy Fab.
Yep, sexy Fabricio.
This kid
Won't go away.
keeps getting one up on me. I don't know what he's got a horseshoe up his ass. What can I say? So, anyways, I think that's all the matches for Friday night, unless I missed one.
Isn't
We got the debut.
Robin Shaw facing Rebel Storm?
There you go. Robin Shaw versus Rebel Storm. This will be Rebel Storm's debut, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless
Hope he
I'm
gets
wrong.
his ass kicked.
I mean,
But,
he keeps on getting his ass kicked, so let's just hope he makes it. I mean, he's been putting in more work to make it to that day. So
Robin Shaw's a big man.
yeah. Robin Shaw's been kicking his ass on IWTV. So
It's going to be a hell of a test. A hell of a test for young Rebel Storm. All right. And let's see. That show starts at 6 p.m.
yes, indeed.
And it's going to be $10. And it's going to be here behind the Level Up Pro Wrestling School's building out in the back parking lot. So pay attention. Social distancing, masks, temperature checks, all that kind of stuff's going to be taken care of. All right. Let's move on to Saturday. Big day for Norris. What do we got, Norris?
For all of us. I
For all of
shared
us.
this with all of us.
Yeah, but I think you're going to be stressing out the most.
Oh, the team has been growing well. So, I mean, my stress is on the production side. Are we going to be able to show this to the world? You know, I mean, I feel like shit every time that you guys have these great matches and they're like hidden. I wonder if people are like, Norris is just sitting on that content. Like, what is he doing with it? But no, I can't botch another production. I can't ruin it.
All right, so let's go over the first show. This is the 4:00 show. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, and the name of the promotion again is.
Dulce de Lucha.
All right, start it off. What's that first match, Norris? What's the first match? Who's gonna be kicking it off?
Kicking it off with, card subject to change, but as of right now, we got El Primo Genio versus DTF.
Now that name, El Primo Genio, sounds familiar. Do I know this person at all?
Yeah, the wrestler formerly known as Hyde.
All right, it's gonna be interesting to see because he changed it up a little bit, changed the name. I'm sure he changed the gimmick a little bit. I like the man formerly known as Hyde. I thought he was great back then. I hope to see something new out of him now.
Yeah, the fans loved him before, so I'm pretty sure they're excited to see him back. He's been on a little hiatus, but a lot of people have. So,
and he's gonna be going up against DTF Darren Troy Fable.
Yes.
I believe that is. So that's going to be interesting to see that.
I hate him, but I love him. I hate him so much. I love him.
There you go. It's a love-hate relationship. All right, what's that second match on that card?
We got the Sexy Things versus Hustle and Muscle.
Can you break down these tag teams? Who are they exactly?
Sexy Things, we got Wild Things, Leo Canedo, and Sexy Fabricio versus Hustle and Muscle, Alonzo Alvarez, and Vinny Wasco.
Now, Alonzo and Vinny, some of my homeboys right there. They've had my back before. We've had some. We had a 6-man tag at the old Ground Zero promotion that will be coming back hopefully pretty soon. So it's good, and this is gonna be good for Leo and Fab because one of the biggest steps when you finally debut is working with guys that you don't know.
Right.
You know, a lot of promotions, a lot of wrestling schools will pitch, will put their students versus their students, right? Or maybe their student versus the trainer. And once you step out of that box and you start wrestling guys that you don't know, that's where it really tests you. Because hey, man, if we came up wrestling together, I kind of know what you do, you know what I do. Same thing with the trainers, right? I basically will train these guys to wrestle how I want them to wrestle, right? They're perfect for me. But when you wrestle somebody that you've never stepped in the ring before, you never locked up with it before, that's where the real tests start kicking in. You know, like, hey, you've had the cheat codes.
Right.
Now it's time to really play, you know,
right.
and see if you can hang. So I'll be interested in watching that. And then what else do we got? Anything else?
Yeah, we got a little spot there. We got a little Ruby Ray's gonna come out and say hi to the Dulce de Lucha crowd. Dulce de Lucha with some piñatas for the kids and see what's up. See how that goes out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Love Thy Neighbor involvement with this event too, so we're excited to have give back to the community.
Excellent, man. So Ruby Ray's will be in attendance.
Yes.
And then I believe myself and Devin have a match.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna be taking on the team of Jack Cartwheel.
Yes.
And Rancho Camacho.
Two young guys up and coming. I mean, Jack Cartwheel with the Lions Cup winner. Rancho Camacho, I saw him at over at Glamis, and he there's very young guys, but I know they're going to bring the energy. So I'm excited to see you guys work with them.
Excellent, man. So we'll see how Devin does in that match. It's been a while since Devin stepped in between the ropes. It's gonna be interesting.
Devin in the lucha.
There you go. Now we have another. This is a 3-way match you got going on.
Yes.
Well, who's that consist of?
It's gonna be Fidel Bravo, Nest SoCal Crazy,
My old lucha trainer.
and Mr. Iguana.
Hilarious. I've gotten to witness Mr. Iguana in person. Laughed my balls off. Hilarious. I love his gimmick. This is gonna be a hell of a 3-way. I'm guessing a lot of lucha in this match. That'll be another good one, man. Really interested in that. Now here we go. The main event for Dulce de Luce.
Dulce de Lucha.
Dulce de Luce.
I'm gonna get a button.
Exactly. All right. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a hell of a test for Parker. Or I'm sorry, Jordan Cruz. Sorry, messed him up.
Cool. It made me feel better because I said
Shit happens. All right. Tell me about that match.
Yeah, Damian Says versus Jordan Cruz. We're gonna call it a hardcore street fight. That's all I can say about that. I know they're gonna bring it.
What's up with these Southern Bells, Hunter and Jordan, stepping in? They're hardcore guys now.
Well, they want an opportunity. I mean, maybe because Parker saw Hunter do it, so he's like, I want to go for it now too. So maybe something like that. Monkey see, monkey do. But I'm pretty sure Damian doesn't want to let the same thing happen last time.
I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be good for Jordan. Maybe bring out another side in him. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, this is the thing, man. You want to every time you step in the ring, you want to learn something. Hopefully. So I think this is gonna be a big learning experience for Jordan Cruz, and I'm excited to watch it. Now that's gonna be at 4:00.
Yes. That's the window for that event.
And all the COVID protocols are still in effect for that.
Yes, and we'll have a lot of good stuff going on. We'll have food, we'll have jumpers, we'll have vendors from the Love That Neighbor community.
Oh, nice.
Come on down.
Excellent. And now that's gonna lead into the Canna Pro show tonight. Or not, sorry, that night. Let's talk about this. This is a big card. You actually brought in some cats where I'm like, holy crap. All right, here we go. First match of the night. What are we looking forward to?
Like I said, card subject to change, but first match we got Stoner Bros versus Biggie Biggs and Rob Shit in the Iron Lung match. Or it could be called the Blunt match, but it's called the Iron Lung match. You can't win until the blunt is out. So you can hit your finishing move. If the blunt is still burning, you have to keep going until that blunt is out.
Very interesting. I'm excited to see the Stoner Brothers. I've watched some of their stuff from up there in Hood Slam. I think it's gonna be fun to watch.
And he doesn't smoke weed.
Who what?
You don't smoke weed, and you think it's gonna be fun.
Oh well, yeah, of course it's gonna be fun, man. Rob Shit, he's in the match. Greatest name is pro wrestling, and yeah, it'll be good stuff, man. All right, what's that second match up on there?
We got Hobson versus Juan.
Now, I got a question for you. Aren't these two tag team partners?
Hobson's on some ish right now where he wants to be the alpha male of Level Up, and he's gonna step over everyone he can. Looks like it looks like he's trying to step over his tag team partner. I mean, attitude like that. I don't know how much longer he can last.
Hops put all that muscle on, and now he's too big for his britches, huh?
Yeah, he thinks he is Level Up. So,
all right, excellent.
I mean, I real shit. He did come up with a towel, but I'll give him that. He did come up with a towel. He came out with that like his second match with the Level Up towel. So he did invent Level Up, but
All right, excellent. This next match, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. You want to tell him about it, Bones?
Yeah, you got Sweet Robin Shaw versus Ruby Reyes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how many intergender matches Shaw's got under his belt. I've only got one, and it's with Ruby. It was one of my favorite matches to do. It was so much fun, so easy. It was like a nice change of pace, I guess you could say, as far as like it just gave me something new to work with. As far as like you got to be a little bit more creative when it's an intergender match. Am I correct on that?
Right.
So yeah, I think Shaw's gonna have a lot of fun. Like I said, Ruby, the match I had with her was one of the funnest matches I've ever done. So hey man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Excellent.
I mean, especially Shaw. Shaw's been working hard. I mean, getting everywhere, helping out over here as well too. So I mean,
he has.
Even though he's an asshole and I can't like him, but he's making it hard.
No, Shaw came down to San Diego, and man, he's been putting in a lot of work here. I know he's here almost day and night. It feels like.
Yeah, he's been an immense help.
But that's good, man. Good for him. All right, next match. What do we got?
We got Mr. Iguana versus Remy Marcel, new Nevada State champion, in a pound on a pole match.
Wait, who's the Nevada State champion?
Remy Marcel.
Oh no, shit.
Yeah, he just won on Saturday night.
Good. Where at that Glamour show?
No, FSW. No, it's not my title. No, it was another FSW promotion in a show in.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they had a show Saturday night.
Remy won it.
Yeah, Remy over Hyperstreak.
Get the fuck out of here.
There was a ladder match. There was Jordan in a 4-way. I saw it and I was trying to get in at last minute, but I don't know what the COVID rules were, so I didn't want to push too hard because I'm pretty sure it's just tough time to get these shows going. So I don't ever want to bug someone about getting in, just check it out. But I didn't see a link for tickets, so I'm pretty sure they were. I mean, it was a great card for TV, so I'm pretty sure they're pushing it to their network and their subscription. So
yeah, something
something that we all need to do in independent promotions is have a website and app and content constantly pushed out like those guys.
Well, I did not know that about Remy, and for him to, so he worked Hyperstreak.
Yes,
who I love. Hyperstreak is a great dude, awesome wrestler. I love his gimmick. His mask is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, and that's good, man. Now, is there is Hunter Freeman on this show?
Yes, he is.
All right, Hunter Freeman is on the show. Who's he gonna be taking on?
He's going against Cam August.
All right.
Fearless Cam August, and excited because Cam, this is gonna be his Canna Pro debut. Very young, but I believe that he wants his opportunity. He wanted to kind of show his teacher what he's all about.
That's good too. I'm glad to see that. All right. And then I'm in a match.
Yes.
This is gonna be a first time match. It's gonna be myself and Bad Dude Tito. So I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah, super physical contest. Super excited for this one. I know. I mean, to me, this has that big fight like Las Vegas feel. You know what I mean? So
you're putting a lot of pressure on me now, dude. Okay.
Mike,
hey, I hope that happens too. That's what some guys say as soon as they see the match cards. I'm like, oh shit.
What'd you say, Adam?
He said you're his warm up for Bloodsport.
I know, basically. So. All right, and then the main event for Canna Pro. What do we got?
We got La Rebellion, Amarillo,
and now
Metro Wolf, and Bestia.
That's did Mecha Wolf change his name again?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no, La Rebellion, Amarillo. That's just the Rebellion yellow.
Oh, okay. I thought
so Bestia and Metro Wolf.
I thought you said Lucha Wolf.
Oh,
I was about to say that's another fucking sweet name. Why does this guy keep cranking out sweet names?
I mean, he has Lucha Puppies, which are pretty cool too. So, yeah,
well, first he was Mr. 450, which I love the name for some reason because it's like, well, what's your gimmick? And it's like, well, fucking take a guess, asshole. And then he had Mecha Wolf. And I like that was sick too with all his gear and stuff like that. And so I thought you just said Lucha Wolf or Lucha, and I was like, dude, that's another sweet name. Anyways, so they're gonna be taking on the team of
Doomfly, Eli Everfly, the California Chronic Champion, and Delilah Doom.
Excellent, man. So 2 good cards. Got some people pulling double duty that night too. I'll be one of them.
Mr. Iguana because he's out of town and I don't know when he's gonna be back. And I mean, he'll be in the triple threat on the first with the Dulce de Lucha. And then, ideally, I know Devin hasn't been around. So I imagine he's going to take most of this work on the tag match.
Oh, Devin's
I think he would want to be seen with these kids that are out there, with
Devin's going to be doing so much work.
Dude, bump, eat, hit the ropes.
I guarantee he won't make it. He'll powder and be doubled over. Maybe possibly throwing up. Adam, you want odds on this? What do we got?
I think the Lucha crowd would love it.
And then Devin,
just keeping the trash can.
Sunday, the following day, Devin and I will be up at Championship. So it's a packed weekend for me, and we'll see what happens.
This week you won't have a promo where you're looking for Devin. You'll have found Devin.
Hopefully Devin shows up. But yeah, man, guys, please, where can they go visit to check out the information, ticket prices, all that kind of stuff? But we look at Facebook, or is there
best place is fullspectrumprowrestling.com. We do have a website. You can get tickets from there from both events. But you can also, on the Canna Pro show, you can go to eventhigh.io, which is a cannabis event ticketing platform. And then for the Dulce de Lucha, you can go to Eventbrite and get the tickets from there as well too. Just in case you're not so sure about the website, or if my website goes down, there's other ticketing places to get it from as well too. And tickets are available at the door, but if you buy your tickets online, there are some sweet raffles that are in there. So buying your ticket online automatically enters you into the raffle.
Excellent, man. So we got a full weekend of wrestling. I am guessing I'll probably have at least 5 or 6 matches this weekend, so I might be dead Monday. Adam, if you want to call and check on me, I'd appreciate it.
I'll be flying on Monday, but I'll certainly give you a
Shoot me a text, kid.
I'll give you a
Shoot me
call
text.
from the air.
Shoot me a text. Adam, where are you going to?
I will be going to Tampa on Monday.
Is there something going on out there?
You know, I heard there's a big event, the first large wrestling event in the last year and a half. So I figured I'd stop by and check it out. You know,
Excellent, man.
might say hi to Dom if he's there, which would look like he's going to be on the card. So
Did you get tickets yet?
yeah.
How was that? Pretty simple, or how did they do that? Like,
It's pretty easy. You have to buy the tickets in pods, basically. So it's pretty awesome. I'll be in this like whole area by myself.
oh no shit!
Yeah,
This sounds like the greatest WrestleMania.
it sounds
of all
great.
time.
And like you can buy the tickets one day, or you can buy combo. And I saved like a ton of money buying 2 days. Like I spent more going to one Mania one night than I have going to the one that's 2 nights.
Now, okay, they're running a 2-night event.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
How do you feel about that?
I as someone who's gone to a bunch of these, I like it because there's a point at every one of them where I'm like, all right, let's close up shop for the night, boys.
Uh-huh.
Where it's, you know, the last one I went to in New York, like it finished at like 2 a.m.
Ridiculous.
And then I had to drive back, and it was like a 2-hour drive to get back to where I was staying. And it's like, you shouldn't do that. Like, finish up one night, and then you do the next night. And, you
Yeah.
know, people can go to both, or they can go to one, you know?
Now I got a question for you. You've been to multiple WrestleManias, right?
I've been to every one since 31. That's been live with crowds.
And now, and Devin has told me he's been to a couple and
Yeah,
told
he
me,
went with me to the one in Arizona and the one in New Orleans.
and he said one of them, he said he basically like got like drunk
He was hammered
before the pre-show
Yeah,
was
he was
even
hammered
done with,
before the first.
and he was
pyro
hungover.
went off.
He was hungover for the main event, basically.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if the 2-night thing is eventually going to get kind of old. Whereas, like, I'd rather just have one big kapow show
Yeah.
rather than like a 2-night event.
And I think they feel that way too because they haven't committed to it past this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the reason they run so long is it because do they put too many matches on the card, or
They put too many matches on the card. I think they've had a
Long
thing the last couple of years where they feel like they got to put everybody on the show, which I like as like, you know, for the girls and the guys. Like I like that they're all getting a chance to be on WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, there's like points during the show where you're like there was the one in Dallas I went to where it was like literally 6 hours into the show, and it was the year The Rock was hosting, and he came out, and I was like, well, this is going to be a 20-minute segment.
Yeah.
And then it's Triple H and Roman, that's going to go 30 minutes. I'm like, so I'm going to be here for another hour, and it's already midnight, and it's just like, it becomes to the point where you can't enjoy yourself as much because you're like, this is going on too long. There's been so much I didn't care about. But
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to prevent some of that independence because all the shows are running like,
Yeah.
nonstop. They're
Yeah.
like, well, if there's a show Saturday night, let's just run Saturday night. Let's just break it up and get some of that money.
You know, it's weird that they like if that is the case, it's like, man,
Not to shit on the indies, but just to like
Yeah.
the money's already there. Why not split it up?
yeah, but it's like you're WWE, you're the WrestleMania, you're the reason, you're the main event, right?
Yeah.
Of that whole weekend. Like,
Yeah.
let these, other little promotions, crumbs, right? Think about it. All those promotions are making crumbs
Yeah.
compared to what the WWE is making that weekend.
and they're
So,
making money because that's what's happening that weekend. Like most places aren't going to run these shows on a Friday and Saturday in Tampa if
Yeah.
WrestleMania's not there.
yeah,
You know what I mean, like
exactly.
they're running because WrestleMania's there, and they know people are going to be there.
Yeah,
There's not going to be as many people this year as past years because
obvious reasons.
there's 25,000 people, I think, a night. So usually that's almost tripled combined for like a full night. Like, but yeah, like I don't have a lot of plans other than Mania while I'm out there. There's a bunch of baseball games I might go to, but
Yeah.
getting into Florida right now, like with the way like these theme parks are, they're like, everyone's like, yeah, they're open. Like, but yeah, you have to make a reservation like 3 weeks in advance just to go to Disney World or to go to Universal Studios, or you have to pay like an exorbitant amount to go. Like, there's no chance of me going to Disney at this point because everything is sold out for those 2 weeks I'm there, basically.
Yeah. By the way, if there's ever a time to go to Disneyland or Disney World, it's right now. Because
Absolutely.
could you imagine going to those theme parks where it's only 25%
Yeah.
capacity? You'll get all the rides in.
Well, just think how exciting it is for like I'm flying and like on my way back, like I'm flying Delta that has still the rule of there's no one sitting in between you. That sounds great. Like,
Beautiful.
and then when you go to the event, like the WrestleMania, like I know I'm in a section by myself where there's at least 3 or 4 seats between me and the next person. And I'm like, as much as I hate the last year's been and what it's done to a lot of people, like this is like kind of nice. And like, yeah, of course I'm going to go to this because I don't like sitting next to random people who are just nudging me the whole time.
For hours.
Like,
for hours.
And that's the other part of going to these things. It's like you sit there and like if you're not in aisle seat, you have to like get everyone to stand up, and then they give you looks sometimes like, oh, this guy's going to the bathroom again. I'm like, yeah, we're 6 hours into this show. Of course I'm going to go to the bathroom again.
There's few things greater than realizing you have your own row on a flight.
Oh,
I'm
so
telling
great.
you,
It's
you walk up and you see like, or you know, the time the flight attendant closes that door and then the announcements come on and you're like, get the fuck out of here. I got my own row. Hell
now,
yeah.
Are you an
bitch.
aisle guy or a window guy?
I'm a window guy.
Okay, because I was going to say, because if you're an aisle guy, the best strategy for avoiding people getting in your row is as they're coming down, just stare at them and give them the impression that you don't want to sit next to me. Trust me.
You're having a really bad
I
day.
think Mike's great at that.
No, not at all.
Mike could give a good glare.
Yeah, dude.
If Mike was like, didn't want someone to sit next. I think if Mike just, even with the mask on, I think Mike's eyes would send the signal, don't sit next to me.
Well, some of those photos, man.
I'm very nice.
Oh yeah, we know you're nice, but I'm just saying some of those photos, those wrestling photos.
But they don't know you're nice.
Yeah.
You're just a guy on a plane with a beard.
It's
That's all you are.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm a window guy. I wonder, like, I just like looking out the window. Like, I usually fall asleep on flights,
Yeah.
but I also just like having a view of like what's going by and
Yeah.
you know, what are we above. Actually, it was the last time I flew. Coming home from San Diego, there was that huge fire going on out east,
Okay, yeah.
and we flew right over that motherfucker. It was incredible, absolutely nuts. I got to see that stuff.
That was
man.
from Vegas, right?
That's right. We were
Yeah.
coming home from Vegas for the show out there.
Yeah, as a tall person and a fat person, I much prefer the aisle because I can just stretch my legs out at certain points when I know
Oh, do
the
you?
stewardesses aren't coming by. I'm just
Interesting.
like,
Just have your foot on.
because yeah, I'll do that from time to time. Like if I'm like I need to stretch, like rather than getting up or sitting in the because planes have been around for so long, and I don't understand why they haven't figured out. Why don't we make the gap between these seats a little bigger for tall people? Like, can you imagine what it was like for the Big Show to fly every week? Like that must have been awful.
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm sure it's a nightmare.
unless he's flying first class, which I'm sure now he is. But
My wife has the incredible superhuman ability to fall asleep at takeoff and wake up right when we're landing. I'm so jealous of her
I'm
every
so
time we
jealous of
fly.
people that can sleep on planes because I can't.
I never get like good sleep on.
No.
I'll fall asleep, but it's never that good sleep, you know.
Because
So,
you're gonna have that one, even if it's not like a big turbulence, it's that one jolt the plane's gonna have at some point that just wakes you up, and then you're like, well, now I'm up,
yeah.
and you were almost there.
I used to like reading on flights too, but then like every place, or not every place, but every airline has, you know, either like the app to watch movies on your phone,
Yeah.
or in the headrest above you or in front of you. So it's kind of like, well, what am I gonna do? Read or watch a movie? Let's watch a movie. You know, it just seems it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where a couple years ago I bought this like portable like outlet thing that I just stick on the floor. If I charge the night before, I can have my laptop run the whole flight
Beautiful.
without my battery dying, which is the big problem. It's like, yeah, you're on a 5-hour flight, your computer's probably gonna die at some point.
Just like the good Lord intended for you to
The
watch
good
a
Lord
movie.
intended. Yep.
Exactly.
Last time I was on the flight, I started the flight with someone next to me. I woke up and they were gone. So I was sleeping hard.
Where'd they go?
My mask was soaking wet from my drone, but yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Bones, you ever been out to WrestleMania?
No, I've not.
Neither have I. So
I'm hoping to go out to Tampa though. I'm really hoping to go out that weekend. I mean, I know I have no business out there, but see what it is, because I mean, it was supposed to be out here this year.
yeah, I
I
know.
was really excited to
Supposed to
do
be,
something with some groups and have a venue and do that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing. So that's 2023.
It was supposed to be last Sunday.
And then COVID said, "Suck a D." Nope.
The
not
whole
gonna
scene's been
happen.
reset. So I mean, I hope no one, anyone that lost anyone or had to struggle, sorry, but at the same time for the scene and some industries it's been like a hard reset
Oh yeah.
across the board. So
Big
super
time.
excited.
What else is going on in the wrestling scene? Is there anything like cool, fun going on? I haven't really paid attention too much. Any new, any huge releases or anything like that?
There was a really interesting interview with Andrade that happened last night.
What
Did
was
you see
that?
any of that?
No.
It was kind of his like post WWE interview where a couple of noteworthy things he said were apparently Charlotte was taken off WrestleMania because the WWE told her she was pregnant.
Oh, like a work?
No, like they told her she was pregnant because something came back in some test that said you might be pregnant.
Get the fuck out of
And
here.
then I guess they got COVID right after that, after they proved that she wasn't pregnant, and now it's this whole mess. And it just seems like he apparently was cleared for 3 months, and no one, like Vince and Triple H, had no idea that he was cleared. It was an interview he did with Hugo Savinovich, so it was Spanish, but a bunch of people translated the interview, and it was just like one of those interviews. Like, do you remember? It was like 6 years ago when Punk did that podcast with Cole Cabana on like Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
And there was like a lot of stuff.
He like crashed the internet or like whatever. Yeah.
Like even the doctor ended up suing him because of that. It was kind of like that, but at a little bit of a smaller scale. Because it was like they tried to ask him questions about Charlotte, and he's like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, because she's still there, and he doesn't want to ruin her spot. You know what I mean? And
I agree. I get it.
But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of disorganization there, but that's
so
what you hear.
So he was medically cleared for 3 months, and the top people didn't know that.
Apparently, Triple H and Vince had no idea he was cleared. So that was the reason they didn't use him, and they didn't really go into it. But you have to think that when Zelina Vega got fired, that was part of him not being used to. It was some sort of punishment for that. But
Interesting. Dude, that guy's gonna go kill it somewhere else. So, I'm sure he can go back down to Mexico and just make tons of money. There's plenty of opportunity for him on the indies and all around the world. He's gonna be good to go, man.
Did you see the new IWGP title?
No.
It looks awful.
Oh, really?
It's terrible.
Why'd they do that?
Because
I saw it, but yeah, I didn't know.
Because Kota Ibushi won, he unified the Intercontinental and the World title.
Oh, really?
So they decided to get a new belt, and I'll see if I can find the picture on my phone while we're talking here. I did send it to Devin this morning.
Let me see this thing. Huh. I mean,
it looks like the old Divas title.
It does.
Mixed with the Fire Pro logo.
That's the first thing that jumps in my head is the old like just the it's just the shape of the plate.
Yeah.
It kind of, that's the first thing you think of. All right. New belt.
Have you seen it, Bones?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it,
I mean, I didn't get. I mean, you're like almost a historian with that stuff right there because I didn't have any comparisons to it.
Yeah,
it's different.
And
I just saw the outrage from people. Okay.
Matt Riddle had a pretty hilarious botch on Raw last night. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what did he do?
He was just in the middle of a promo and he literally looked at the camera and was like, I forgot what I was supposed to say, and he just walked away. He just, because he's doing a promo with Asuka, and Asuka just looks at the camera and just starts walking. Like,
wait a minute, so this was live?
It was the equivalent of We're Live, Pal with Sid.
Get the fuck
He's
out
talking
of
about
here.
promo. He's like, yeah, they got scooters like this in Japan. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I forgot what I was gonna say. Bye. And he just walked off the screen in the middle of a live promo. And I'm like,
I guess that kind of fits his character though, right? Because he's kind of like that stonerish kind of character, right? So it kind of fits. But also that's the problem, man, with giving like these wrestlers the strict lines, right? Like they say basically like in the WWE, like you're told what to say, you can't really go off script unless like you're a certain person, right?
Yeah.
You got to build up that trust. But you got to remember, man, we're not professional actors. We're wrestlers. There is a sense of acting in what we do, but we're not the kind of people to remember lines and all that kind of stuff. We remember spots.
Yeah.
We remember finishes and all that kind of stuff. So when you give these guys these lines and they're using words that they would not normally use in their like everyday, vocabulary, you're fucking them. You're fucking them.
because now you have to remember a match. Now you have to remember a promo.
Yep.
Now you got to remember how long your match is going, how long the promo is supposed to go. Like, it's giving guys a lot of stuff to think about.
And that's why, back in the day, obviously, people fucked up back then too. You just mentioned Sid. But still, if you just let them, just run it off the top of the head. Hey, this is what we want you guys to talk about. Here's the bullet points. Go have at it, I think that's a lot better. And you'll also get more personality out of those wrestlers rather than them. It's almost like I tell students, if you have such a spot heavy match, you forget the in-betweens. right? You forget after a slam, how are you going to act? You know, like what's the right scenario? How are you going to how are you going to portray your character during that time in between these spots? Whereas if you have too much, you forget that aspect. All you can remember in your head is what's the next spot? What's the next spot? Well, whereas you're not in the moment. You know, the less you have planned, the more in the moment you can be. Whereas if you have too much planned and it's all in your head, you can't stray from that because your mind is so wrapped up in what's next.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't remember, hey, what's going on right now in the match. That's just kind of something I noticed when I started dumbing down my matches as far as, hey, let's not have as many spots called. Let's more work it in the moment.
Yeah.
That's just something I noticed.
You're one of those people that you'd rather plan on a match the day of rather than plan a match out for like a couple of weeks. Like if you have a big match coming up, because I know there's some people I know that plan out matches for a whole month, and then when they do the match, like you can tell because it looks super robotic.
Yeah.
When you plan a match out for an entire month, it's like I could tell that you've been working on that for a month. It's like a choreographed dance. Like it looks like a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
And wrestling is not supposed to look choreographed. Like
No, it's supposed to look reactionary.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, man, that's just that's my tip of the week for wrestling. The less you have planned, the more in the moment you'll feel and you'll be able to react to it.
And that's why you're the number one boss.
I don't know about that, but
I had to go to you for approval for promoting Hunter's shirt. So
for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're El Numero Jefe.
It's like it basically I'm the boss, right?
Yep.
And then you're like my right hand man.
Yep.
And then Dan, he's kind of like the what would you say, like what is it? You got the general manager, and then you got like a senior. Dan's like a senior manager.
Yep.
Right. And Devin's an employee.
Yeah.
Devin's one of our employees.
And
basically.
He will absolutely love to hear that.
Yep. That's
He
it.
will love to hear.
And by the way, I heard you guys talking about me on Devin's podcast last
talk about
week.
you every week.
You fucking cock.
What did we say? I forgot. I
Well,
do 4
it's not
podcasts a week. I forget half the shit I say.
It's not really you. It's more Hunter and Devin being like her Beavis and Butthead. But
oh, when they were talking about the shirt thing again?
The shirt thing, which is ridiculous. Like, listen, I'll do whatever I fucking want.
Yeah.
And by the way, on those matches, look at what I did with the shirt. I incorporated it into the storyline.
Yeah.
Okay. I incorporated it into the storyline.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to, wear a shirt. And then you'll notice I take it off when it's appropriate because shit's going to the next level, right? And then the shorts thing, I'm gonna clear this fucking shit up, right?
Because I was curious about that.
I showed up for a level up taping, right? We do it on Sundays normally. It might have been a Saturday. We've done it on Saturday one time too. So I pack up my shit, and I'm usually pretty good about like inventorying what's in my bag. And then so I check it out, and I'm like, okay, cool. I think I'm good to go. Get here. Turns out I forgot my tights. Right. So I'm wearing these blue Under Armour shorts. Actually, I'm wearing them right now because they're like my workout shorts, and I'm about to go do a workout after this. I go, oh shit, I forgot my tights. Now here's the thing: if I had a long match ahead of me, if like Benny was like, hey, we want you to go 10 to 12, 12 to 15, whatever, I'd been like, you know what, I got to go home and get my gear.
Yeah.
All right. So when I discovered that I did not have my tights that day, I even told her, I go, guys, I got to run home real fast and grab my tights because I live about 15, 20 minutes away, right? And Benny just goes, why? You're in a squash match today. You're supposed to go like a 1 minute. And I was like, no, I still want to go get my tights because, it's a professional thing to do. So Benny's like, yeah, do whatever you want, man, but it's a squash match. Literally, it was a squash match. I think we went with like 1 minute and 30 seconds. I was shooting for under a minute, but we didn't. I think we got 1 minute and 30. So before the match, before we start, I go into my truck and I start driving off and I go, what the fuck am I doing? It's a 1 minute match. It's a squash match. What the fuck am I doing? So I U-turned it right around and I walked in and I go, Benny, you're right. What the fuck? I have my kick pads, my knee, my knee pads, all this kind of stuff. We can easily say, hey, this guy's not worth my time. I'm not even get fully dressed for this guy.
Yeah.
Anyways. And then fucking Beavis and Butthead, AKA Hunter and Devin, are like, oh, he forgot his. Cool.
And you wore Devin's shirt at Hollywood out of respect. And this is the way he repays you.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I do more promotion for Devin than he does for himself.
I can't remember the last time Devin posted anything on Twitter that wasn't just a response to someone else.
Or just putting himself over.
Yeah, that's true.
Or just put fucking dick.
He does like the approval of others.
Anyways, I'll see him this weekend.
I like it, Devin.
Yeah, you'll hear Devin next week, probably on this show.
Yeah. So we're trying. We got a big weekend coming ahead of us. I think we're gonna try and get some, record some interviews with some of the people that are participating. We'll see what happens, man. But I think we
just form a line outside and take like a ticket when you go to a deli. It's like, who's up next?
Yep.
Come on in, sit down.
You get 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes with Devin and Mike. You get to ask them questions if you want. Q&A.
They can ask us questions.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what you're
Q&A
saying?
with Camden. Just like
Whoever's wants to sit in can ask Devin and I.
they're picking your guy's brain.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just
Like
hold
ask
court.
a wrestler.
Ask a wrestler.
We'll just hold court.
It's a meet and greet.
Ask a wrestler.
It's a meet and greet.
It's a meet and greet. That's exactly what it
shit.
is. Everybody gets one question. One question. That's it. All right, man. Is there anything else we got to put over? Anything like that? You want to Bones? You want
any
anything?
questions or?
We actually did get a question pretty late on as we were recording.
Here we go.
Fao asks, if you were given $5 million to open a small museum, what kind of museum would you create?
Let's see. A museum. Star Wars museum.
Okay.
Yep. I guarantee that'd be money. What am I gonna do? Like put like a historic museum in?
No, I mean, so what? You would just have like stuff from the movies that you put in the museum, basically.
And there's so much storylines. You know, like you have like what, the Old Republic.
Yep.
You got all this stuff. You could throw so much shit in there.
Yeah, you could come up with a lot of stuff for sure.
I'd do a Star Wars museum. What about you?
Lucha Libre Museum.
That's
We're already
good
thinking
too.
about it. I was actually talking to one of the students, Adrian. Remember Adrian? No Cell Salas.
I'm sure if I saw him, I'd recognize him.
Well, he was one of the earliest ones. He has a lot of his grandpa. Was a
Oh,
luchador
yes.
for a long time. His grandma, and so he has a lot of artifacts, a lot of original stuff. And I just reached out to him to kind of see what we can do to make Dulce de Lucha more authentic. And who knows where it's going to go? But I already have a place for this museum, or this wing if we get a wing.
God damn, you got a museum?
No, I'm saying I have a place for it. We already have an idea. We already
That's
know.
nuts.
We already know who we're going to pitch it to.
I just thought this was a question.
No,
Turns out
dude,
it's the real fucking
I wish
deal.
it was just a question, but it always goes that much more
He's
into
like,
it.
this is a question, but to me, it's actually something I've been planning and thinking
Exactly.
about. Like,
So you a Lucha Libre museum, huh?
Yeah,
That's
we have good resources close by.
Hell yeah.
We could, and the market that I'm looking at is really untapped.
yeah, I was gonna say, this might be an ignorant question, but are there any or at all Lucha Libre like museum type things?
Yeah, they're called Lucha Libre tacos. There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
No, I
Speaking of that, I gotta
I know
go
of
back.
those, but I mean just like an actual museum.
I'm not sure, but we want to push it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you can't think of it right off the top of your head, you're like, well, then it's
Or
probably,
Lucha Libre
it's
Hall
probably
of
a
Fame,
good market. Yeah.
Maybe a Lucha Libre Hall of Fame type of thing. I just saw a Cannabis Hall of Fame that they're gonna start on 420 this year. So
What is that?
I don't know. I think Seth Rogen's like the first nominee. And
Interesting.
so-
Really? Seth Rogen? I would
Yeah.
think Cheech and Chong would be
Yeah.
first if you're going to talk about.
Yeah, that's
It was an
true.
Instagram post. So it was like the 6th, but Tommy Chong, they probably want to get paid.
Those guys are like the Godfathers.
Yeah,
of-
dude,
Yeah.
You can't have a Hall of Fame without them, but it's a very new thing. So I'm pretty sure once they get a couple people on board, and like I said, it could have been a stalking like Seth Rogen nomination. It was just an Instagram photo. It wasn't like Seth posted it from his page. It was more like this new startup
Yeah, he
company
just
posted it from their page.
he
Like,
just
oh, we
started a
nominate
big
Seth
old
Rogen.
company, I think. He just started a big weed company.
But,
Seth Rogen did, I think.
What about you, Adam? If you had to start a museum with $5 million, what would you put in there?
Probably be like a Yankees museum or something, which already exists.
They got one.
It exists, but that's what I would want. That's like if you're talking about like a museum that you would spend money, that's obviously you're assuming that you would want to go to this museum.
Yeah.
So like that would probably be it for me.
If you put a Yankees museum in San Diego, you're gonna lose.
I wouldn't put it here.
You're gonna lose money.
No, I know I'll lose money here. But hey,
By the way,
Opening
opening day is coming up for the Padres.
Yeah.
Love it, man. They got some fans there. Actually, I think my wife already got us some tickets for next Monday's game. So
I was
go-
looking on StubHub and the tickets are actually not that bad if you
Really?
wanted to go. Like even on like as soon as like Friday, the tickets are really cheap. Like a Friday night game at Petco, like you would assume those tickets would be crazy,
Yeah.
but they're really not. So hopefully I'll go to a game this year too.
I want to go to a few games. I want to go to a few games.
We need a level up box. Sorry, I'm too far. So I know I'm too far.
You can actually get suites.
Yeah.
My mom gets suites
Really
at
like
the Padres
suites,
every
rotate.
single year, and they're really not
Trying to
that
rotate.
bad.
Every once in a while,
Telling
here you
you.
guys go. You know what I mean? There's 4 guys go.
The Padres, they're gonna do something. They're gonna do it real big this season. If you got you're a sports guy,
Yeah.
Adam. You keep your ear to the streets when
Yep.
it comes to sports. Major League Baseball. Who's the front runners to take it this season?
You know, the Dodgers are always in it. The Padres are, but the Padres are in it too. MLB released like a tier of like 3 of like top teams, and like the Padres are in the same tier as the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Oh, the Yankees are fitting to.
Oh yeah, the Yankees are always in it. They always have. They added some pitchers that are, if they're healthy, they're easily going to be a 100-win team, make it to the playoffs. You know, the Yankees are always close. Injuries have just kicked their ass the last couple of years. So yeah, I would love to see a Padres Yankees World Series just
That'd be
because
fun.
I could go to one game. You know, I could go to a game here. Like I would pay money to go to a World Series game if it was the Yankees involved.
Plus, like, could you get 2 teams further away on the opposite side of the country? Right. I think that's like that might be about it, except for like
Seattle,
Miami, and Seattle.
yeah, Miami,
Something like that.
my Miami and Seattle would probably be the one that is.
But they ain't going.
They're not going. No.
By the way, you know that Seattle is the only team that's never been to a World Series?
That doesn't surprise me.
I looked that up. Somebody asked me that question, and I was like, I don't know. Let me see. I was very surprised to hear that. Seattle.
And that's sad because there are teams that have only been around for 15 years, and even they've been to World.
Exactly.
The Diamondbacks have only been around since 1999.
I remember when they won the first one. Yeah, not too long afterwards.
Me too.
Not
Right.
too long. Was it against the Yankees?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember listening. I was actually at work. I worked in the meat department at a grocery store in Ramona, and I had it on the radio listening to it because I was closing up.
Yeah. The worst part about it is that was like the first time probably ever in my life where all of America was rooting for the Yankees because it was 2001.
Oh, that's
So
right.
everybody was like rooting for the New York team. And I was like, this is never going to happen ever in my life again. And then they lost in game 7.
And then the Diamondbacks were a real party pooper.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Thanks, guys. But yeah, me and Duke are going to do a podcast with Angelo Trinidad this week. We're all going to have our baseball jerseys on.
Excellent.
It's opening day.
Angelo, solid guy.
Good people, yeah.
He helped bring me up to championship wrestling from Hollywood the first time, so appreciate that. Rode with him a couple times. Good dude. Be a good interview. I know him and Dan were real close. They actually roommates, I think, at one time.
Mhm.
So
I think you mentioned that, yeah. So that's probably going to be another 2-parter.
all right,
So
excellent.
like the Yuma one we released last week, part 2.
Yuma's always money. One of my
so
one of my
fun.
friends who listens is a big fan of Yuma now. He heard Yuma when he was on our show originally, and then he heard the Duke interviews. Yuma, man, guy's got stories for days. Good for him. Good for him.
Don't understand why anyone would dislike him. And there are people out there. I don't get it. He's such a light. Even if you've never met him, like it's different because I know him. I've known him for like 10 years, but it's like, and people who don't like him, I just don't get. Like, what do you not like about him?
Some people just don't gel.
Yeah.
Some people just don't gel. All right, man. Well, I think we've been flapping our gums for a while now. Start taking it home.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the Hogscast, the Red and Black. That's Devin's show every Thursday morning. Listen to Last Word with Duke on Friday mornings every week, weekly. We're putting out weekly content. And you can listen to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically anywhere you can listen to a goddamn podcast.
Yep.
We on it. We on it. Big shows this weekend. Friday night, Level Up Pro Wrestling. Friday night, Dulce de Lucha. I think I hit that right.
You got it.
That's going to be at 4:00 on Saturday. And then you have Cannabis. Starts at 7. We're shooting for 7:00.
7:10 bell time.
Saturday night.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a full weekend, and then eventually you'll see Devin and I on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Unfortunately, you guys cannot go attend those yet, but hey, check us out. Look for us on TV. Is there anything else we got to do, Adam?
No. Hunter's got a new shirt.
Oh yes, go
Not a
check out
Hogsman.
Hunter's Not a Hogsman shirt. I believe he put it on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yep.
There's 2 logos. You have the purple and yellow logo, and then you have the red and black logo. So, Hunter, we want 10% of your sales, please. Actually, Actually, you know what? We deserve like 90% of the sales,
Yeah.
right? That's our logo. He just put a goddamn strip of a duct tape that says "not a" on top of
Mike,
it.
if you want to sue him, I know people.
No, I don't want to sue him. I just want to take his money.
Well,
So,
sometimes you have to sue people to get money.
so Hunter, I think we're gonna need about 90% of your sales. You can keep the other 10.
How about this? If you give them the percentage, we'll arrange a meeting with DDP that you wanted.
And we'll push more shirts.
And we'll push more shirts.
We'll promote more shirts.
Hunter's such a guy right now because he like just discovered like DDP yoga like 2 days ago, and now he can't stop like talking about it. Fucking jack off.
That's what DDP yoga, and I was like, yeah, that's existed for a
He's
while.
like, bro, it changed my life, and it's like you've been doing it for 3 days. Fucking, he drank the punch big
It
time.
definitely works.
Oh, it does.
It definitely
Yeah.
makes you feel good when, especially if you're a wrestler. I'm sure it helps you feel much better when you're wrestling, but it has been around for at
A
least
while.
10 years at this point.
A while. All right, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Bones, you got anything you wanna pitch? Are you all good?
No, we're good. Just want to see you this weekend at the events. Support local independent wrestling, and let's keep making this thing grow.
Excellent, man. Sounds good. Hey, Bones, you know the sign off line?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want the tip, what do they got to do, Bones?
You gotta take the whole hog.
Adios.
That's all you